Guys, some of my best coin roll hunting finds of the year. Now I gotta set something up first. Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just setting up. Finish setting up. So I'm gonna share with you guys a lot of my best coin roll hunting finds of the year. I have set all of the ones that I still have. Sorry, my nose is kind of stuffy today. I don't have any quarter finds set up here because most of the quarter finds I sell. I sell the silver quarters immediately, and the West points I don't really need. Or at least most of the ones that I found this year I've already sold. But I have a paper on here that I've tallied throughout the year that I still know how many I've gotten. It's kind of messy, but I've gotten 5 West points this year. Total silver dimes, I've gotten 26. I've only gotten 2 90% half dollars, and that was at the beginning of the year. 17 40 percenters. Those were also towards the lower part of the year. I've gotten 22 silver nickels and 25 and the 3 quarters, silver quarters. I also want to mention that another coin that is not here is the 1913 S key date Buffalo nickel. It's the key date of the entire Buffalo nickel series, which I do not have because I can't find the coin. I have the flip somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I don't know if you guys remember that video or if you even watched it. I found the key date of the Buffalo nickels, the 1913 S Type 2. There are a bunch of different types of the 1913 year. There are some with D mint marks, S mint marks, no mint marks, and there are 2 different types. In 1913, a lot of the nickels on the back here, the ground above 5 cents was raised a little bit. And the combination that's the rarest of these is the 13S Type 2, which I found in a box that I nickedated, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but that video was crazy. I was freaking out. So those are the only coins that are not included in the majority of the silver, that coin, and the West points. Everything else should be accounted for here, though. Mostly, at least. So these are in no particular order. A lot of these were from the earlier part of the year. And a lot of these were really good finds, so I'll show you guys. I would say that this year is definitely a better year in terms of variety. I feel like I've gotten more of a variety of coins than I did in 2021. I'm going to start up here with the pennies. I got a lot of cool penny finds. Almost did better than the nickels with pennies. Nickels crushed the pennies last year. I'll start off with some of the proofs. Oh, another coin that's not here. I have another proof coin that I found that was a 1984S. I found that, but that is not here. Oldest proof I have ever found. Didn't actually find it too long ago. A 1964 Philly proof that I found in a bankroll while I was doing a live video. So that's my oldest proof coin. If you guys don't know, all proof coins 1968 and back are all minted, or all proof coins 64 and back are minted in Philadelphia. This was unfortunate. I remember when I found this because it was actually in good shape if it weren't for this really bad damage on it. It's a 1985S. Then we got that 84S, obviously. And then my newest proof. Oh, you know what? I'm just thinking. Another proof that I had found, another new proof. I lied. My newest proof that I found actually was a shield penny proof. I forgot about that. I found a 2011 S shield penny in a roll. So this is my second newest proof. It's a 2005 San Francisco. So these are the ones that I still have. all the proofs in total that I found this year, I found a 1964, I found a 1975 copper, which I sold. I found a 1984, 1985, a 2005, and a 2011 proof. Those are all the proof pennies I found this year. If you guys remember earlier in the year, I got that uncirculated box of pennies where it had all those grease-struck error coins that had a very thick edge, were really good grease errors, and I sold, I think, 10 of them for $55. And I made a whole bunch of money on something that I thought I wouldn't make anything off of. So I did keep some of them. Some of them aren't as major, but if you look under a loupe or a scope, you can find the errors pretty easily. So I did keep most of them, or a lot of them. This is just here because I do find a lot of pretty uncirculated wheat pennies. This is one of them that I found yesterday, actually. But here's a few. There's a 55S, which is probably my best one, because that's the hardest 50s business strike wheat penny that you can get, pretty much. So that was a really great find, 55S. This one isn't so much red, but it's actually a really nice 1942. So I flipped that up. And most of these are 58Ds, so nothing extremely special. But they're really nice Wheaties. Of course, that 1880 Indian head penny that my grandma found. My grandma was like, "Oh, I can count it." So this was technically a mudlarking find. 1880 Indian head penny that was found on the ground outside of our local grocery store, if you can believe it. That was a ground find. And then we have some error coins here. We got a couple of errors. This is my most pretty pronounced error. This is a 1970 something die cap penny error that I found in a bunch of rolls that actually were not that great, but I found this 1973, it might be, die cap error. And basically what happened was the planchet got stuck to the die and kept pressing it over and over. And if you press it over and over, it gets a weak strike. That's why this side is completely fine. And then we got another error here. This one is a little bit different in that it's a grease strike, a very major one too. 2001, I believe. It's on both sides. The E and C and 1 cent are gone. The date, the only real stuff that's visible is the 20 and the mint mark. Liberty's gone, and God We Trust is almost completely gone. That was a pretty good find. We got some low mintage wheat pennies here. 1927S, pretty low mint. That was an ender. 1923S that I found on a Coinstar. I actually found a few of those this year. So that's not the only one. And then my lowest minted wheat penny I've ever found in circulation, a 1933 Denver with only 6 million minted. In that semi-key date range. This one is interesting because it's just a 1918 Philly. And you'd be like, oh, but it's got solid detail. This thing probably has XF, dare I even say AU details on it. It's not red. It's not a red coin. But look at that. You would not look at the back of that and say that's a 1918. It has really, really good detail. The only issue is there's a slight bit of corrosion on the side, but that's really minor. That was an awesome coin. This one is kind of cool just because I've only found one other one of these. Again, 1910 wheat penny. I've only found one other one of those. So that was kind of cool to me. 113 the next day or so. This coin I found, again, kind of recently, semi-recently. This was a Philadelphia Mint token, which ironically I found the Denver version in a box hunt. This I found in a custom wrapped roll. This isn't even supposed to be in circulation. It's not even a penny. It's a token. But I found that in a penny roll. And then we got a few steel pennies here. Some of them I found in Coinstar. I remember I found those two in a box in a $25 custom wrapped hunt. They were both in the same roll, funny enough. And then actually pretty much moving on to nickels. I got a 1966. That is from a special mint set. So that was pretty cool. Kind of pretty much a proof. We got three pretty nice nickels here. We got a 57 Philly, 58 Denver, and this is my best one. It's a 1940 that I've confirmed with a few people. This is a full step coin. So yeah, it's really hard to see, but this thing I've looked under a scope multiple times. I've looked under my 3 times loop or 25 times loop. And I've taken a close-up picture and shown a few people, a buddy of mine that knows stuff like this, and it's a full step 1940. I mean, this coin's going to be 83 years old, and it's got almost full mint luster. We also have a 55 Philly. I've actually found a few of these since then, but it's a semi-keyed 8, and it's the first one I found of them. We actually have 2 nickels that are black beauties. We have a 58 and 59. They minted the black beauty nickels in 1958 and 1959. And basically the issue, there was an issue with them heating up the planchet too much, causing a dark appearance. And they're not, you have to get them certified to be sure. These are ones you really have to get certified, but it's pretty easy to spot kind of the dark color. This coin has full mint luster, but it's a 58. These are both Philadelphia mint, and that's where they struck them. They struck them in the Philadelphia mint. This 1959 is super apparent. Look at that. It's almost blackened. So those are definitely 2 black beauty nickels. They're pretty rare, too. They can actually be pretty rare. I've been looking at the prices. We got some Keyed 8 Jefferson nickels of 39S. That was in one of my best nickel boxes ever. We got, what do we got? We got 2 38S's also. And let me see what else we got. And on to the Buffalo nickels. That's probably the bulk of the nickel finds here. These are my oldest ones, other than that 1913. I got a 1914 Philly, a 1916 Philly, and a 1920 Philly. These 2 had to be nickedated. This one was an ender on a bank wrapped roll. My very first Buffalo nickel ender on a bank wrapped roll. That being said, this coin, and one of these other coins one of these was an ender, but it was on a custom wrap roll, and it was from a coin collector that I met in a bank, my local bank. And he put a roll of nickels together for me, as he had a lot of overflow of finds that he got in his boxes, and he must have been seeing me at the branch and decided to throw a few coins in for me, and put a roll together. And so my bank teller called me up and said that he had done that, and I saw that one of these, it was either this 36, but there are 2 36s, they're on the same day, you notice. I put them on there, great luck, because that's what was written on the roll, and so I just did that so I know. 1923, which again I found pretty recently. I found this month. And then another 36. This is a 35 that I found. Actually, my first Buffalo nickel I found, other than this one, although I don't know if you'd count that, in a custom wrap roll. That's my very first one. 35 Philly. This one, I honestly didn't even nickedate. I just threw it in a 2x2. I should nickedate that someday, so I don't know what the date is. It could be... usually when they don't have a date, they're usually 20s and older. But I don't know. And then we got a couple of really low mintage Buffalo nickels. We got a 27S, which is 4 million. I don't remember what the exact mintage was, but it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can't really see by the camera too well. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. That's why you guys can't see it. But it's a 1927S. That's a pretty low mintage Buffalo nickel. And then this is the Another key, this is a key date Buffalo nickel. I found the 30, what is it? 1913 S variety 2. This coin is another key date. It's a 1931 San Francisco. This is one of the lowest minted Buffalo nickels in the entire series. In fact, the only coin minted lower than this is I think it's either the one that I found, but the difference between this one and the 1913, this one is in phenomenal condition. It's kind of hard to see the S, but you might be able to see it. 1931. I found that in a bankroll, and that was an epic find. They're not crazy valuable, but they're still pretty valuable. And then we got some dimes. A lot of these are error dimes because my variety ones I've pretty much sold. This is a 1965. That another one from a special set. A special mint set. It's kind of hard to see because a lot of those didn't have cameo. And then we got two pretty nice 1970s minted in Denver. They're the Extra Torch reverse of 1968, the FS 901. I have two of them, and the reason why I have these coins are actually pretty common in bad shape, but these two are in great shape. So that's why I put these in 2x2s, because they're only worth more if they're in good shape. And then we got another error. This is an error, not a variety. It's a 2015 with a grease strike. In God We Trust is pretty worn. The 2015 is worn. And the back is worn too. And then I think we're done with that. The only other few ones I want to show you, this is my other $50 find that I've held on to. It's a bicentennial proof that I found way back. This thing's been in here since the beginning of the year. But it's a bicentennial proof, $50. I've definitely found a few proof $50 since then. I also want to mention, I mentioned that I had found two 90% Kennedys. I found actually three, because I just remembered if you don't remember, I found a 2005 S silver proof $50 in a roll. So not only have I found more proofs, I recently found a 1986 proof, and I found that 81 proof last year. Here's the reverse. It's in pretty terrible shape. But that's still my first bicentennial proof. So I got to change that. I've actually found three 90% $50 because the 2005 San Francisco was a silver proof coin. And then we got two really great Susan B. Anthony dollar finds. This one was crazy, and of all the videos that I've actually have posted, including YouTube Shorts, this is my most viewed and most liked. I posted a video on this coin. It got over 500 likes, over 22,000 views. Thank you guys about that. Oh, and I just dropped it. But this coin, I was doing a bunch of schoolwork, and my grandma had taken this coin and put it on my desk, and she just said, "Oh, I found this," and I was like, "Oh, it's a dollar coin. Wow, I didn't notice that." And then I saw the date was 1981, and if you guys do not know, 1981 for Susan B. Anthony's is actually pretty much a key date coin. This is considered an NIFC. They didn't release these into circulation to be used. So this is actually quite a rare coin, and I think I missed it while I was doing a hunt. I got, I think I remember which hunt it was too. I got I was bank hunting, and in customer service in a grocery store with a combination of some $50 and dollars at a bank, I got a bag of dollars and $50 that I hunted, and I think this fell out of the bag. So I don't know for sure, but that was a crazy coin to just be set on the table for me. And then this is another find. This is kind of one of my first real variety coins. This coin is a 1979 Philadelphia wide rim. And I know this is a 1981, but it's the same design, the same typical design. So in 1979, the Philadelphia minted Susan B. Anthony dollars. The rim was quite far away from the date, but some of the coins struck in 1979 from Philly had a thicker rim, and you can tell just by looking at the date. And if you look at that, you can see the high bottle top. Um, and if you look at it really closely, I don't know if you guys can see the Philadelphia Mint, but the date is very close to the rim, which makes this an FS301 wide rim Susan B. Anthony dollar. It's trash. It looks like it might have been polished at some point, but that's one of my first real varieties, and that's kind of a real milestone for me because it's one of the varieties that I found that's actually worth like a significant amount. Even the 70 proof reverse dimes are not worth much. They're worth more in good shape, but even in that shape, they're not worth a ton. So, tons of stuff. 1880 Indian penny that my grandma found on the ground. Early proof pennies, error coins. I got a cap die, penny error. 33D low mintage, a bunch of key dates. A freaking key date buffalo nickel, for goodness sake. Like, this was a great year. Not as great as 2021 in silver. As silver's concerned, 2021 was definitely a better year. But in terms of finds, just finds like this was definitely a better year. Because, that's if you include everything else. Like, if you include all the other silvers that I found, if all the other silvers that I found were here, it's equal. So, towards the end of the year, the finds started to cool down, but this is pretty much gonna be my best coin roll hunting finds video of the year. Lots of good stuff, lots of stuff that I never thought I'd ever find in circulation. And it's just crazy the stuff that you can find in circulation. The kind of old stuff that you still are able to find. And a lot of these coins will be going into my album. I need to check a lot of these other buffalo nickels. I know these two will be going in my book because I definitely don't have them. I'll probably take that 1918 out and upgrade that coin. See if any of these steel cents upgrade. Probably upgrade some of these nice ones here. See if any of my key date Jeffersons upgrade. And see if any of these fill a spot or upgrade as well. So, I didn't have space on my phone, so I thought I'd make this kind of a little live stream that you guys can look back on. I know this year was kind of mangled, and I didn't exactly go with my original plan, as I was going to do in 2021, but this is my best coin finds of the year, 2022, and I know that technically I could find something right now, like I could go up to a Coinstar and find a silver quarter or a silver dime that's a key date, but I really don't think I will. Today's a Saturday. Banks are technically open, but I don't think I'll be able to get to any banks today. And honestly, I'm really not even going to try to because I've already filmed this and I don't want to really add much to it since I've already filmed it. Plus, the banks that I have available to me right now, one of the banks is switching branches. That's a little kind of announcement that I wanted to make is that so our area where we live, I don't know who's watching. It could be my mom. But I don't know who's watching. But where we live, we kind of live in a gated neighborhood, and a little bit further, if you go out of the gate, there's a shopping center, and in that shopping center, a little local grocery store, and it has a Wells Fargo branch in it. And this is like a 3-minute walk from our house, so it's really convenient. And then up the street a little bit, there's a Chase, which is awesome because I return there a ton. But I only go there once or twice a week because it's hard for them to ship coins out. So I said, I'll only come once or twice a week. Or no, once or twice, once in 1 or 2 weeks. And the Wells Fargo has a $20 limit, although I've been able to get coins there more than that before. So they are transferring branches. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. They said that their final moving day is going to be on the early February. So they're going to be moving branches. So basically, what happened was um, where they're moving in is where an old Starbucks used to be. They were there for the longest time, and then kind of around after the start of the pandemic, they were building a new complex. Um, Actually, it's kind of sad because they built it right over where we always used to go sledding. Especially we had that huge snowstorm last year around the same time, and we couldn't do it because that Starbucks was built up there. But they built it because they were going to put a Starbucks there, and so it's a literal new building. But the staff from the other Starbucks moved over there, and so that building has been empty ever since. And I think that the Wells Fargo wants to kind of expand how much space they have. So I don't know. I'm really hoping that either I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same tellers, which is great because at least I know I can still do transactions there. I think it's just a move. I don't think it's a I don't think it's a new branch entirely. I think it's still the same people, but they're gonna move over there now. I'm hoping that's one of two things will happen. One, um, I can either um, I can either um, I don't know. Maybe that will for some reason let me get more coins if they have more space. Like maybe they'll have more vault space and more coins to that I can buy. I don't know. Um, and I'm hoping they put another bank that I can go to in where the Wells Fargo was because I really don't know what else they put in there besides a bank. There's already a Starbucks in that store, and there's really no other place that would work in there. So I'm really hoping that a bank moves in there and it doesn't just stay empty forever. That would be really nice. Um, then I would have three banks to choose from. Um, but um, I really just wanted to make this a best year of CoinFind, but I wanted to make that announcement that that's going to be happening soon. The only thing that will really mean for me in the immediate time is it will be a longer walk over there. I'll have to walk slightly longer, which is kind of sad because I kind of like that bank because it was convenient to go to, and it's gonna be a little less convenient, but not. I mean, it's not gonna be insane. It will be still fine. Plus, I'll get more each trip. Um, I'll get more walking in out of each trip. Um, but that's, I mean, for the immediate time before they end up putting anything else in, the only thing it's going to mean is a little bit more walking, which isn't bad. I walk all around that shopping center, so it's not hard or anything for me to do. So um, it's closer to the Chase, which is kind of I feel like it might be kind of an advantage because I can kind of separate things. Like if I want to go just to our grocery store, I can do that. And if I wanted to do banks, I could go over there. So, yeah. But today, I feel like this is something that I do on an Instagram live. But today we are going to be going to a T-Birds game. Usually we do kind of a New Year's celebration at home, but going to this game is kind of our New Year's celebration. So we're going to that. It's at 6, and I have a sweater, and I have my little foam finger that I got at the last game we visited to. Um, and we have some hats for the team that I mean, it's our home team, but it's the the Seattle Thunderbirds. So every team in Washington State has to be Seattle because that's like the only famous city. Ugh. But um, I'm going to shower and get into those clothes, and then I will pretty much sit around So, once again, this was an awesome year. Thank you guys so much for the new subscribers. I think the beginning of this year I was only at like 200 something, and I've more than doubled how many I have. So, thank you guys so much for the new support, the new support, and people who have also been supporting the channel for a long time. I thank old subscribers for that, because you guys have stuck with me. Um, but this has still been a great year, even though there have been some recent setbacks and other things. So, um, thank you guys so much for taking a look at those coins and listening to me talk, I guess. Um, but I will catch you guys in probably the next live, probably 2023. I might film something today, but if not, see you guys next year. See you guys next. Happy New Year.